Hello everybody, this is Shawn Wood and welcome to Cab Conversations, where we're talking everything Volvo Trucks. Today our guest is Erika French with Lift 365 Rentals. Erika is from a small place in Switzerland. She's always been a fan of the Volvo brand. After completing secondary school, she went to a Volvo Diesel Tech School sponsored by a local Volvo dealership in Switzerland. She's mother of 3 daughters, entrepreneur running a successful business along with her husband. In addition to he's a skilled pilot, also owns a commercial HVAC company. Together they also own OC Burgers, restaurant in Haltom City, right? Yep. In the downtime, the family enjoys riding dirt bikes, skiing, snowboarding. Erika is a true fan of Volvo Trucks, and her experience is going to be very, very compelling. So can't wait to share her story with you. So, welcome to Cab Conversations, Erika. It's good to have you.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So kind of talk with me. So we met in 2018, but let's go back to Switzerland. Okay? Let's kind of start on the farm. So tell me how things started in Switzerland with you.
Yeah, well, I grew up on a farm, like if you could imagine Heidi. I was on top of the mountain. A small little farm. It's not like something that you have here in the States, right? It's a small farm with 7 cows and a couple of, little animals, and grew up working there, and I was always drawn kind of to the motors, so anything farm equipment. I wasn't really a big fan of going into the stables and stuff, so I was always, if there was a choice, I would choose working with the equipment. So that is what started.
Okay, cool, very good. So school in Switzerland is different than it is here in the States. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about, you said like once you get out of the 9th grade, you sort of pick a trade, vocation, whichever direction you're going to go. So kind of tell me what happened there. Yeah,
so it's 9 years over there. And then most people are not going to be doctors or lawyers. So there is a system, they call it apprenticeships, which a company basically puts you through. It's usually 3 to 4 years depending on what you choose. And so they put you through school, but at the same time you're working at the company and get practical skills. And after the 4 years you get tested, and then you're a technician or a baker or whatever,
And they're paying you the whole time,
they're
right?
They're paying you, yes. You're under contract with the company, and so the first year is obviously very low. It's like you don't know anything, so, but you really just start from the bottom up, and they put you through training, which is a lot of practical and schooling. So so that's what I did. I actually wanted to be a truck driver. I always wanted to be a truck driver, but I couldn't find a place that
we'll get to that
take a girl. But anyway, that's why I ended up actually going to be a technician instead. So that's kind of what I'm.
All right, so you're out of Diesel Tech School now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah, so when I finished up, I saw an ad in the newspaper for a company in California. They were looking for technicians in Switzerland, and I applied for the job, and not even a month later, I was here in the States. So it brought me to the States. Couldn't speak a word of English, but I was just, you would say young and dumb, but I just, I packed up everything and left. Okay. Just going to see what that looks like.
Okay. So. Okay, very good, very good. So California. Did you work out there for a while?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. So I worked for the Swiss company. It was a company that wasn't open to the public, but they would fix tour buses, shuttle buses, stuff like that for the airport. Okay. So that's kind of what their niche was.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Very good. So tell me how you got to Texas.
So when my husband and I, we got married, I actually didn't like California very much, so we were just kind of looking for a different place to move to and raise our girls. And we had a few friends that moved to Texas, and we just kind of followed suit and moved out here and opened the OC Burgers. And it just kind of went from there. One thing just trickled into the next. So
okay, very good.
But,
all right, so you were a stay-home mom.
Yes.
For a while.
Yes. For 17 years, 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That long?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know it was that
much.
long.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was very long.
All right, so kind of tell me how Lift 365 started.
So my husband has a commercial heating air conditioning company, and he bought some SkyTracks on an auction, and actually for his company. And then he would have people, it's like, oh, can I use it? Yeah, let me borrow it, let me rent it, you know. And so my husband was like, well, that would be up your alley. You could kind of just facilitate the equipment, you know, about if stuff breaks down,
Yeah.
you could probably fix it, you know. And I was thinking like, oh my goodness, I'm a stay-home mom. I'm totally fine with that. So at first I wasn't really going for it, but then
Yeah.
I kind of went with it. And so we started the company in 2017, Lift
Okay.
365 Equipment Rentals, and just started adding on construction equipment, machines, and just kind of been growing since.
Okay, so when you and I first met, you came into the store, I think, late 2017, maybe early 2018.
It'll be 18, yeah.
Yeah, and you were renting your truck and your trailer, correct? Or no, you were farming that stuff out.
Yes.
That's right.
So I was having a hard time. I mean, I used different hauling
Yeah.
companies that would just pick up and deliver my equipment. So yes, I used outside haulers,
Okay.
which worked great for when I started, but I did run into problems not being able to deliver on time, or having to miss a rental because it was so expensive for a scissor lift to be delivered.
Right.
That I was getting to a point, I'm like, I'm just gonna get my own CDL, my own truck, and I'm gonna do this myself, and I'm gonna do the outside hauling for everybody else.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so you came into the store and you had seen, we had, so the Fort Worth store had 5 or 6 of these VNRs that it was an oil field order, it was cancellation. I think it was in West Texas actually. And they weren't getting any traction out there, so they moved them to Fort Worth. And I think you had been eyeballing these VNR with adaptive loading for a while. They were already gray. They were already painted to the color that you wanted the company to be. And you and I started having conversations about this in 18, about these trucks. And
Right.
so then kind of tell me what happened after that.
Well, I was just kind of waiting to pull the trigger on it. And I kept eyeballing that truck. Like every time I kept driving by, I would see her parked right there, and I'm like, one of these days I will pull the trigger. And then when the time was right, you know, I think actually I don't know if you called me up or if I stopped by, but you're like, we're about to put them out on the auction. So that's really what then the last push was to pull the trigger on buying that truck. So, which was really, I was hoping to wait because in the same time I had a trailer being manufactured. But it came to the point where it's like, you need to take this truck or it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, timing worked out really good because you ended up stealing it.
It did turn out to be a really good deal for me. So,
yeah, worked out really, really good. So that was a VNR with a VNR 300 with adaptive loading, and which is really good for your business. You know, so that front axle will lift, and then it'll lift when the load's off, and then when it's loaded up, it'll drop back down to keep that load distributed. So that's really worked good for you because you're not hauling multiple pieces of equipment usually on your trailer. It's usually just 1 or 2 things, right?
No, not necessarily. I mean, if we have small equipments like right now, you know, when we haul for other rental companies, there may be 4 scissor lifts, a SkyTrack, and a light tower on there. So there is a lot of, you know, depending on what we haul but if there's just a small piece of equipment on it, that axle definitely stays up.
But even if you have multiples, though, it's a scenario where it's a diminishing load. You're dropping off, then you're going somewhere else and dropping off, and then you're dropping off again, and so the load's lightening as you go, and that axle will lift.
Yeah.
Very good. So let's talk about Volvo Trucks. Going back to you as a little kid.
Yeah, it was serious. What can I say? This may ruffle some Americans' feathers here.
Well, so let me preface this by saying, Erika's from Switzerland, and so
Yes.
Volvo kind of dominates the market in Europe.
Yes, for
Everybody
sure.
else is second fiddle.
Yeah.
And so it's not uncommon.
Right.
Some of my biggest customers are Europeans, or they're
Right.
Europeans that have come to America, and Volvo it's either Volvo or nothing for them. So so I preface that
Yes,
intro
yeah,
for that.
So just Peterbilt people, relax. So I mean, the Volvo brand's been around for a long time, and I don't know, God kind of put that in my DNA. It's something that as a little kid just fascinated me. I was just fascinated with semi-trucks, and as I was telling you, my bedroom was like posters and clippings of magazines and stuff, and I would write to Volvo, and they would send me posters and pens and stuff, and so I was just really, that was my brand, and you would just see it everywhere. I think everybody there has a Volvo. So that's why also ending up doing my apprenticeship was with Volvo. I mean, I would have done it probably with somebody else. I mean, if Mercedes would have, wanted that, would have been fine too, but it just ended up working out that way that I got to do the apprenticeship on what I really liked. So. Coming over here, there was no question that if I buy a truck, it will have to be a Volvo for sure. So, and I just know for the things that I'm looking for in it that it will have that. So,
very good, very good. So I remember when we first started talking about your truck, the first thing you wanted was the VNX.
Yes,
and I
love that truck.
Whoa, Nelly.
Hold your horses.
Yeah, hold up here.
Yeah.
You're hauling skylifts. I mean, we're not there yet.
No.
So let's talk about how we got there, though, because the VNX came along, and you had a very fondness for that truck from the get-go.
Right.
And then, I think in 2020, 2021?
2021.
2021, had one available, and
Big money Shawn sold me a VNX.
And a Landau 850 trailer.
Every time I talk to him, it costs me a lot of money. So,
but it's money well spent because it is for your business.
Right,
so
yeah.
You're not commuting this truck to and from work. You're moving heavy equipment.
Yeah. So, we started with the VNR, and I got really busy with it, and I was building. Like I was saying, I was a rental company, but it was so small, so I started doing hauling for other rental companies, and I was just staying busy. And then I start getting customers asking, "Oh, how heavy can you haul?" I got excavators. People wanting me to move other equipment where I just was tapped out. And
you and I talked about it. You said I'm losing a ton of business because I don't have a VNX and a heavy haul trailer. I'm getting asked to move heavy haul equipment, and I don't have the equipment to do it. And that's kind of how we got to the VNX point.
Right. So, and at the same time, so I then hired Eddie, which came in and just been a huge blessing to live 365. So it was just time to pull the trigger.
Sure.
To spend more money with Shawn. And we ended up buying the VNX and having the trailer built, and entered into the heavy haul side, and so
and you keep that piece, that tandem moving all the time.
We keep it running.
Yeah,
we keep that running.
And so since you got those two tandems going, you've now bought an MD.
Yes, I ended up getting an MD with a Versa train, like just for really small equipment, like scissor lift and stuff, and wasn't a Volvo, but
Mac.
Yeah, I understand, but you know what I mean.
I get you.
You understand the
They're
struggle.
sister companies, but I get the struggle.
I understand. I understand. But anyway, no, we got the Mac, and just really focus on small equipment that just runs nonstop. So
Okay. So kind of just, this is not a rhetorical or trick question. So, because you've liked the Volvo brand since you were a kid, what is it about that brand that you have gravitated toward?
Right, I mean now, using the product and working on the product, I think is an extremely reliable product. I mean, I've had it now for years, we have zero problems with them. It just runs. I like their push towards innovation and growing things and getting better, and so I like comfort, I like fuel efficiency. I'm not looking to have a shift lever up here.
I got you, man.
So,
I got you.
so those are kind of the things that really work for me.
Yeah.
And it's just, they've been great trucks for us. So we really had zero problems. And,
Right.
you know, pulling that back in too, you know, ending up being just a great relationship with Bruckner's, you know, is really stood behind the brand for us. And yeah, so it's been definitely a good deal for us.
Safety, innovation, technology, those types of things, it kind of aligns with what Lift 365 is about. So,
Right.
yeah. Anything on the horizon I need to know about?
You know, we're getting really busy. We're growing with the rental side right now, big. Yeah, I mean, God knows, you know, at the end of the day, he opens and closes doors for us and for me. And, you know, if he opens another door for another Volvo, you know, we'll definitely walk through it and run with it.
That's good.
So,
Yeah, love that. So you guys, that building you have on Denton Highway, you guys are in one section. You lease out the other. What's the name of the group that you lease it out to?
So in that building, it's my husband's company, Air 817, and the sheet metal shop that goes with it. And then we have the Biblical Planetarium. So
Planetarium, that was the word I was looking for. Yeah, okay.
So, which is like a biblical-based, you can go in and watch 3D video of creation. And
I wasn't sure what the format was for what they were doing there. I saw the name on the building, and I was kind of intrigued by what was going on with.
Yeah, they used to be off 114 and in South Lake, and it's called Journey Dome is what the name is, and so they were looking for an actual building, and they reached out to us, and so they've been in there. They've been a tenant for us in that building. So
great space for them. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Good partnership.
So yes.
Awesome. All right, so you and Mike have several businesses together. Kind of talk about you raised your 3 daughters. I think you told me one time you homeschool.
I did, yes. So I did my oldest one. I homeschooled. Actually, funny thing about her, she's 24. She moved to Switzerland.
To do the diesel tech program?
To do the diesel tech program, but she did it on Mercedes-Benz. So it's funny. So when she finished that last year. So it's a funny thing how
it comes full circle, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. So but her, I homeschooled from 3rd grade through 8th grade, and then she went to public high school. And then the little ones, it was like a homeschool that they go 3 days a week. And, so yeah, that was really my life is being a wife, raising the girls, and really trying to have that as priority.
Sure.
Which definitely came with challenges. Having starting this company, right? That's having another baby. Trying to build that. So.
And you're herding cats, basically. Yeah.
There's definitely herding cats for sure.
So how do you guys, just kind of talk about how you guys maintain balance with all that you got going on?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like I said, I mean, it's definitely came with some challenges too, because for me, Christ and my husband and my family needs to be priority, and I want it to be priority, but there's definitely been times where you know, I felt like you get so many phone calls and so many runs, and you have to be really careful to not let that go out of hand. So I just had, you know, you hire people. You hire people that are thoroughbreds, and you trust them, and you let them run with it, and you can step back.
Yeah, people who kind of share your value system too.
Yes.
Because you got to be able to trust them.
Yes. So, you know, the people I work with, throughout my life, there's been great men that have taught me, supported me, helped me. You know, is it Bruckner's now? You know, with the trucks, or the people that work for me. You know, they're people that are extremely special, where without them the company wouldn't be right. And so in every department, I just have a thoroughbred that I just let run with let them do what they do best. So excellent. But yeah, I think, as you know, the value, you have to have your values straight, and sometimes it's hard, but I think you really have to put what's really important, you know, at the end of the day. So,
right. Exactly.
For me, that's, you know, my family and my husband. So
yeah, you guys really seem to have it together.
More days than others. Some days more than others, but you know.
So, you and I both know it's a separate world when the doors are closed, but you know, but still. So that's all we've got today on Cab Conversations. Really want to thank Erika French for coming in and kind of sharing her story with us. Very, very compelling, really awesome. Been a customer. We've had a kind of relationship since 2018, and we'll just keep things going and help her grow her business and continue doing the things we do at Bruckner's Truck and Equipment. So thanks everybody for joining us.